Hey up guys, and welcome back to another edition of Pooch Patrol TV. This is part 2 and I'm going to continue my mission to try to teach everybody about body doggy language. In this episode we are going to start with happiness in dogs, how to tell when our dog is happy by facial expressions, the body. We're going to look at some myths, potentially confirm or bust them, and basically explore when a dog is happy and when a dog is not happy. So grab a coffee, sit down, buckle up, and I hope you enjoy. So why am I doing this? Well, I am on a mission to teach the world basic dog language. But why? I believe that every dog, when they buy a puppy or buy a dog from a rescue home or a legit puppy breeder, that they should be taught body language, basic dog body language, whether it's a form of a pamphlet or a small video or something, just so they can be more prepared when they take their dog out for a walk. And it's not just about their dog and how their dog is going to react, it's about how other dogs are going to react, and being able to tell whether a dog is happy, whether a dog is scared, or whether a dog is angry can really help you when you're out walking your pooch. As a dog walker, I walk dogs pretty much every day, and I could walk up to 5-6 dogs a day, and as you can imagine, I've heard it all, and it's got to the point where I'm just a bit fed up. I'm fed up with it all. I'm fed up with people who say my dog's aggressive. I'm fed up with people saying my dog's needs proper training or this, that and the other. And it's actually the complete opposite. And this is because they don't understand how the dog is reacting. They don't understand why the dog is reacting. They don't understand what signs a dog's body is giving out. And if they did, they would have a better understanding. Some of the things I've discovered. Your dog's aggressive. Is he? Is he really? Is my dog aggressive? Or is he reacting to you throwing your ball because he wants to chase it? Is he reacting to your dog because your dog's barking? Or is he barrier restrictive? Is he barrier, fighting it because he wants to go and play? He's very hyper and he's annoyed at me because I have him on the lead. And you get people going, it's okay, my dog loves me. No, they don't. Not every dog likes every human, just like humans. So because my dog might be scared of you or barking at you, just because you think every dog loves you doesn't mean they do. My experience at the dog's shelter is that there are a lot of scared male dogs that are scared of males, for example, and this is because they've been hurt, they've been mistreated and stuff like that. So if you see a dog and it's acting a bit strange and a little bit scared, ask the walker beforehand, is he okay to talk to? Is he okay to say hello to? And you might find that they say, no, sorry, he's very scared of strangers. He's very scared of men, for example. And I've dealt with dogs that are scared of men. As a man myself, I have had to work very hard to deal with certain dogs, to gain their trust, to gain their respect, to show them that I'm not here to hurt you. Might say, okay, my dog's friendly. Well, your dog might be friendly, but I might be walking an actual dog aggressive dog, which is why he's on a lead. I might even have a harness and a lead, a red lead or a yellow lead, saying he's nervous. If that dog's nervous or anxious, if he's scared of dogs, or if he is in fact dog aggressive, he may react to your friendly dog. So don't let your dog come running towards me. You see a dog on a lead, put your dog on a lead, walk up to that dog walk and say, oh, why is your dog on the lead? Any reason? Because my dog really is quite friendly. And they might say, oh yeah, it's fine. Or they might say, no, actually, he got bit as a puppy and now he's really scared of other dogs and, will get aggressive. It's okay, they'll take a treat. When a dog is anxious, when a dog is hyper, it's more likely not to take a treat off you. And also, you don't know what health benefits that dog needs. He may actually be allergic to wheat, allergic to grain. You just don't know. And you forcing that treat into that dog's mouth, it's going to do the opposite of what you want it to do. It needs proper training. Well, okay, maybe it does. How do you know I'm not training him at the moment? How do you know there isn't a training plan in operation? Ask me first. Don't just assume. Oh, I'll fist a dog. He'll love me. Yeah, he'll probably bite you. You know, the first rule is to ask the owner if you want to do something, if you want to fuss it, if you want to approach him, if you want to give him a treat, because there might be underlying issues that you don't know. So basically what I want to achieve is for you to understand what a dog is trying to say to you through its body language, and that way you'll form a better bond between you and your dog, but you're also able to protect your dog when you're out walking from other dogs who may have issues. Or if you think a dog is aggressive because it's being hyper, perhaps because it wants to go out and play and I'm not letting it out on the lead, don't just assume it's aggressive. You know, actually take the time to ask and you just might be surprised. So I really hope you find this really useful. Okay, so you may be wondering, why am I going to teach you how your dog shows happiness? Because quite clearly you probably know your dog better than anybody else, and you will see your dog happier more often or not, whether it's playing with the dog, giving the dog treats, general interaction with your dog. But when you're out in the field, when you're out walking your dog, there are certain things you need to know that actually might indicate your dog isn't happy. For example, you see a dog wagging its tail, or even your dog is wagging its tail. That means it's happy, right? Does it? Carry on watching and you'll find out. So by teaching you these simple things that you probably already know, like the facial expressions of a dog, looking at its tail, I'm going to try to help you start noticing these little telltale signs. And when it comes to other things like fear and aggression, it's going to help you perhaps have a better understanding of the stuff that you don't know. So by confirming stuff that you do know, you'll have a bit more confidence. And also there might be stuff that, like I say, some indications that you think makes a dog happy, and you'll think twice about it. Perhaps it doesn't. And also there's a few things that I want to bust. So I'm going to take a leaf out of the Mythbusters, and we've got a couple of myths in the unwanted behaviour section, and we're going to see if they are actually true or we are going to bust them. So carry on watching. Well, one of the first things we need to look at in any sort of dog body language is the face. The face of a dog can tell a million things. But again, we have to think about perception, and I really urge you to go and watch my video about perception first, because not all dogs are as easy to read as others. So for example, we've got Drax here, and he's lying down and he's happy and he's had his walk and he's brilliant. He's really relaxed and he's waiting for his treat. Now, what can we see from his body language? Well, his body is nice and relaxed. He's lying down and his mouth is partly open. His ears are an indicator. They're perked up and they're pointed and they're straight and they're stiff. Now, this can mean a million one things out in the field, but because we're at home, because he's just enjoyed an hour's long walk and we've had a play and he's been exploring, I can tell that he's really happy with himself. He's got wide expectant eyes and he's looking at me with his head slightly tilted, waiting for his tasty end of walk treat. Now, I can tell this is a nice, relaxed, happy and content dog. It's not always easy to tell when a dog is happy. Certain breeds, for example, a pug is really hard to read facially. They've got a squashed face, they've got a little stubby tail and they've got ears that don't stand up. So you can see from Ferdy here that his body is is relaxed. He's not completely stiff, but he is ready for attention, because again, I've got a nice tasty treat for him and he can't wait to have it. It's a nice sunny day, we're out on the field and we're having a time of his life exploring. Now his ears, he's the sort of dog that don't perk up like they do with a husky, but you can tell just at the top they are slightly lifted. He's got big white eyes and he's looking straight at me, and I could tell he's a happy, relaxed dog. Now again, with the two greyhounds here, the girls, we've got Sophie on the left, Cookie on the right. Their eyes are wide and they're alert and they're looking at me. The noses and heads are up, pointed towards myself. Again, I've got a nice tasty treat. Now, in a happy dog, the head will be up, it will be lifted, and the noses may be pointing in the direction of whatever is making them happy. And they'll probably be content at looking at that thing, whether it's a ball, whether it's a treat, maybe it's a friend that's just come to see them. But again, with greyhounds, unlike a husky, their ears don't go straight up, but they do lift a little bit more than they do with the Ferdy. So even though their ears are halfway up, they are kind of pointing up and they're still stiff and they're still alert. And if you look at Cookie on the right hand side, I reckon, well, they both do, I reckon they both have a little smile about themselves. So learning all this just from the face, that I can tell that these three dogs, they're relaxed, they're alert, they're showing something of interest, and they are really, really happy in the situation they find themselves. Right, here's one I hear a lot, especially when I'm out in the field. It's okay, they're both wagging their tail, they're both happy. Is this true? Well, as you can see from the little video on the left, this guy, his ears are lifting up, he's got wide eyes, his nose is pointing towards somebody, and his tail is going at a decent speed. He's not completely stiff, he's standing, but he's relaxed. And this is a stereotypical happy dog. This is the sort of behaviour you will see from your dog every day. Feeding, playing with them, and all sorts of things. But is it the same for every dog? Well, let's see. The speed that the dog wags its tail is important. A very fast wag can mean agitation, or he's super anxious about something. He's not really happy at all. Slow moving and short strokes means they are less enthusiastic about something. They aren't very happy and are feeling cautious or unsure about the situation, and they are very uncomfortable. Now, it's important to determine this because this could lead to a happy dog because he's comfortable and is happy with the situation, or it could possibly lead to fear, or an aggressive dog because he's become even more cautious, even more uncomfortable with the situation. So this is where we need to monitor what's going on. Broad strokes that can be fast but not super fast means they are happy, and this is what you will see the most, and that's what we're getting from the little video with the dog to the left. The frequency of how the dog wags its tail is important. Just remember, broad and fast strokes can mean happiness, small and speedy strokes can mean tension or uncertainty. Believe it or not, I bet you didn't know this, the direction in which the dog wags his tail means something. To the left, to the right. So a tail wagging off to the left can indicate that the dog is uncertain or uncomfortable about what's going on. Whereas the dog wagging its tail off to the right hand side is just a sign of pure happiness and all is okay. Now again, I avert you back to perception. We have to look at the situation your dog is in, the environment your dog is in, and what's happening. And also breeds. Not all breeds have big long tails, and those with big long tails don't always wag them in certain situations. So you have to take the perception of the environment and what's going on, how your dog looks facially, is your dog's body stiff, relaxed, and what is going on potentially with his tail. Once you've figured out all those things, you can see whether the dog that's approaching you or your dog is happy, or there could be a potential situation. So it's okay, they are wagging their tail, they are happy. Myth busted. So I'm calling this next slide unwanted behaviour, but as a canine professional, as a dog walker, I don't necessarily think a lot of these behaviours are unwanted, and I'm going to try to tell you why they might not be unwanted behaviours and why they indicate happiness. And we also have a myth: humping is purely sexual. Well, we'll look into that in a minute. So dog licking. When a dog licks you, what does that mean? It's annoying? Yes, okay. Actually, I might not necessarily like it or enjoy it. I don't particularly like it on my lips, but on the side of my face I don't mind. And the reason for this is because that dog likes you. He really does, or she really does. He's licking you out of, it's just a kiss. The dog is basically kissing you because you are an awesome person. You've been playing with them, you've been giving them a treat or something like that. So when a dog licks you, I might not like it, but I feel honoured when they do, because I've bonded with this dog. I've done something in this dog's mind that makes the dog like me enough to give me a kiss. Jumping up, I mean, you might find this when you come home and the dog gets so excited he's jumping up to see you, or you're out in the field walking and the dog comes up to you and he jumps up at you. It might be an unwanted behaviour, especially if they've got muddy paws or anything like that. But think of it like this: he's excited to see you, and that's because he likes you. So jumping up might not necessarily be unwanted, but again, take it as a sign that the dog really likes you. He wants to play with you, he wants to interact with you. Not all dogs like to interact and play with all people. So when a dog jumps up at you, okay, you can do certain things to prevent this, but maybe just take a few seconds and think, oh, thanks mate. Now humping, this is a brilliant one. Is humping sexual? Well, it can be. It can be. So if you've got a very young dog, a puppy for example, or it's early teens, and they haven't been neutered, haven't had the bits chopped off, it can be sexual. However, and also in girls, ladies, because of the dog's sense of smell, they can tell when a lady is on her period. So with younger dogs, they can find this potentially exciting. And also when girls become young women, periods do produce a stronger smell. And if you do have a younger dog, you may find that they become a little bit more excited and a little bit more humpy. And it's perfectly natural, it's perfectly normal, it might not be wanted, and there are certain things you can do to prevent this. However, in older dogs and female dogs as well as male dogs, humping is actually a sign that they are just overjoyed to see you. Now, I've started walking a new Mastiff Cross dog recently, and she is a beautiful, beautiful thing. She's about 2.5 years old, and I've had a few walks with her, and the other day she got so excited when she saw me, she just jumped onto me, grabbed my leg and started humping it. Okay, it was funny, it was slightly unwanted, but in that certain situation I finally felt quite honoured, because I knew at that point I had bonded with that dog and I had earned that dog's trust and friendship, that they were so excited they couldn't contain themselves, and that was the only way they could express themselves. So humping It's basically a sign of pure excitement, pure joy, and the only way they can express it and release this energy is to hump a leg. And it's funny, it's unwanted, but just think, in a certain situation, it's actually a very, very nice sign to say how well you have bonded with that dog and how much that dog loves you. So, is humping a pure sexual behaviour? It can be, but it's not a pure sexual behaviour. So, myth busted. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any comments or there's anything you would like to ask me about how or why your dog is behaving in a certain way, then please put your comments down below and I will gladly answer them in the next one. A quick shout out to a good friend of mine, Glenn. He's gone through some tough times recently and he is quite ill at the moment and laid up in hospital. So hopefully he will recover soon. I hope you enjoyed this video, Glenn. Get well soon, mate, and can't wait to get back to doing what we do best. So we have Pooch Social. I have a blog out. It's called Ramblings of a Dog Walker, poochpatrol.wordpress.com. Here I talk about absolutely anything and everything that comes into my mind and things I encounter when I'm out walking. Of course, we have the Facebook page, Pooch Patrol, A Lead to Peace, and we have my Instagram account, Pooch Patrol Rugby. Please, please, please subscribe. I hope you've enjoyed this. Leave a like if you can, and please, guys, really do subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye for now.